Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. In this video isn't going to be about too much about Corel Draw, with the exception I did draw this in Corel, and I'm going to save the file in Epilogue's Facebook page for people to download. I'm actually going to save it as an X3 version 13 so more people can access it. Somebody on Facebook over a year ago designed a business card holder. And this is just a plain Jane one, just solid wood. This happens to be walnut. And I've made 20 of them or so. And ever since I made the first one, I wasn't ever happy because the cards could just fall out. There's nothing holding the cards in. So I brainstormed today, and here's a picture of it being held upside down. This is before I had the finish on it, and the cards stay in. And all I did was create a little pressure latch, is what I'm going to call it. This was the first prototype, and it actually didn't work very well, so I had to add this little bitty dowel. And I'm going to show you, two files. I have not cut the other one out, but I believe it's going to work. So when you get the file, there'll be two inner parts. So use the one that says better. So here's a picture of what it looks like. I just press this dowel into it, kind of extending this out. And what happens when the cards go into the box and you can't see this, it's kind of invisible. The cards press down on this little springboard, basically, and it holds pressure. So here's the drawing, and I'm going to post it on Epilogue's Facebook page. So there's a top and a bottom. And the good thing about this particular size, I've done some other ones, other shapes, and they're a little hard to sand. This having 4 straight corners, you could probably sand the corners, and because you need to sand the corners, the edges, because the fact you're going to get burned from the laser, and when you glue it together, you're not going to be perfectly matched up with your edges. So when you do that, and I should have taken a picture of that, but the edges are clean and no visible signs. So you've got a top and the bottom, and then I've got these two, and this is the one I did today. And I altered it a little bit and made the springboard a little bit thicker and a little bit taller. So this should be a better one. I kind of, even scalloped this edge so this board would have a place to go down into. I drew a little semicircle here to give it some strength. Now, one word of warning, I'm a woodworker. These two pieces, the top and the bottom, it doesn't matter which way your grain is. And it might not really matter on the interior, but you need your grain going left to right in the picture. And the reason for that, if you had your grains this way, you've got a breaking point there. This grain will keep this and make it a springboard, and this piece should never break. You're not putting enough pressure on it to break. And I did some tests, and I folded it all the way to the end before I sealed it up. So when you're making that, and we'll get back to that. When you're making that, you can pull down on the springboard and have it touch, and just double make sure it's not going to break, and it shouldn't break. And as you can see, the grains on the top and the bottom are going this way, but the grains on the middle board are going left to right. So you've got these grains are going to kind of hold it together. If you did it the other way, you've got grains that you could possibly break right there. And this is the size of a business card, 3.5 by 2. So all I did, if you grab it on that node, you can put it right there in the corner, and you can see that it doesn't really meet till about there, and this is going to spring down. It's got plenty of room to get out of the way, and it's going to come to the edge of the card. And I'm not going to predict how many cards you're going to hold, because the fact that it's all depends on the thickness of your interior piece. You don't want them, you don't want the thing to be bulky. So make you the shape of a business card, and if you don't like my design, just kind of play around with it. Now, with that being said, you could take any of these inner parts and draw your own shape. You know, I just happen to use a rectangle, but you could, you know, you could use a, well, let's just do something real quick. So let's make a circle, Control D, make a copy of it, hold down the Control key, and we're going to get parallel, just kind of see what it looks like. Those are a little bit close to, not, so hold down your Control button, and then take these two circles, and you're going to grab the whole thing. So let's get this out of the way for a second. Then you could, you know, you could draw a rectangle and put it in there. Now anything you do is going to make it harder to sand, and we need to kind of look at this real quick, because we need to, our rectangle needs to be bigger than our interior box. So let's go here, and let's go here. So now our rectangle is a little bit bigger than our original box shape. Encompass all these, and that's not perfect. I'm just doing this real quick for the video. Weld that together, and then you've got that shape. I'm not saying you're going to use that shape, but you could make it a dog bone. You know, get something off the internet. Last night I made a camera case. I wasn't very happy with it because it was too big, but I started thinking, if you got somebody in the film industry or a photographer, you know, still make them a square case, because that's going to be the smallest you can get, but then just engrave an image of a camera on there, and you can personalize it and put their name on it and everything. Anyway, that'll be posted in Epilogue's Facebook page. I think it's Epilogue fan page. And hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.